Good morning, Art.
Hey Morris, how you doing?
What up, dog?
Doing the do, yo.
Yeah, for sure. Looking
Just
good. I'm
be,
digging
being
it.
the being the black sheep that I am.
I dig it. I dig it. Great meeting you, my man.
Nice to meet you. How are you, sir?
Great, man. It's great because we've been great I've been great fans of you guys and your music. Let me just get a few personal things out of the way.
Okay.
Um, one of the very first of all, everyone, we are talking to the one and only world famous Art Alexakis of Everclear. Okay. You guys are going to be making a stop through the Bay pretty quick here this month, right? Nope, next month. At
Yeah.
let's see here. You're going to be in San Francisco at August Hall, man. Welcome
We
home,
have
by
the
the way.
August Hall on. Yeah,
That's
I
going to
think
be
it's the third show of the tour. Yeah.
right on, man. So we get to jump off pretty early on. You're hitting a couple of Northern California spots, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Playing we're playing outside of Sacramento. We're playing outside of Monterey. So yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff. It's it's gonna be a great tour. Doing a lot
Yeah.
of West Coast shows.
Absolutely.
43 shows in 8 weeks, man. It's a lot.
Wow, dude, but bless your heart, man. You're still looking good and you still got it going on and people are loving your tunes. And speaking of that, let me just I've been wanting to say this to you all of since I ever first heard Father of Mine. There's a line in there, man, and it wasn't easy for me to be a scared white boy in a black neighborhood. That
Scared
line
white
right
kid.
there resonated with me so much because I felt the exact same way.
No, I get it. I
you
get
know?
it. And it's funny because I've had like kids now who are super politically correct who are going, "Oh, that's a total racist line." I go, "No, it's
That's
not."
keeping it real, bro.
And when I talk to like, black men and women that are your age or even, a different generation, when that song came out, I had a lot of people from the African American community come up to me and thank me for that song
Oh, dude.
because it's just about being a kid and being in a place that you've never been before. I wasn't saying it was, I have people go, "Well, when you say a bad neighborhood?" I go, "Because it wasn't necessarily a bad neighborhood. It was a housing project, huge housing project, but it was primarily black and uh, we didn't say Latino at the time. We said Chicano,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
or Cholo,
Yeah.
and very few white people. Very there was like of the 1,000 families, there's probably 20 families who were white people, and uh, but it was good for me and I loved it. But in that song, I was just trying to, you get it. I was just
Oh, dude.
trying to convey how I had been taken from a mom and dad living in suburbia in a year and a half and put there. And my dad was off raising someone else's kids, you know, and uh, and I'm living in a housing project with primarily single moms,
And you're like,
lots of lots of deadbeat dads going on.
oh my goodness, man. And again, it's a song that lives on and on and on because every time I hear it, I just see myself in that song. I mean, like every single word of it. Man, I mean, it's like you wrote the song, performed the song that is the childhood story of myself, my brother, and my sister. I mean, like, Dad, bro, we're over here in Southeast San Diego, man, and it ain't great. It just
It's
is what it is. And
still not
then
great.
and then my grandfather steps in and helps out. But so we moved to the other side of San Diego. Now he's up in the burbs, right? With my grandma. And that was the whole so that was completely different. While the economic situation was a lot better. Well, we were definitely the only black kids in a white neighborhood. And
Right.
that had its own other thing. Now, I can't say it, but you know what? Once we realized the situation, I didn't really feel anything negative about that at all, right? It was just like, all right, we're the only black kids around here, but it took like one weekend of meeting the neighborhood kids and stuff. And we're talking like the early 80s. So some people still had their prejudices or whatever, but you work
Yeah.
past that within dude, that's what kids do. And kids bring the adults in on when it comes to love and things that are really, really important. And all that to say, Father of Mine, bro, you killed it. You did it. And I've been waiting 20 years to tell you that, bro.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you saying that.
For
I
sure.
do. It means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, you had it worse than me. I mean, come on, the experience of black people in this country.
No, 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 no,
Um,
no. Art, no, no,
no,
no, no.
no, you did, you have.
How you gonna tell
But
me? I was there. I'm the
I'm,
black kid that's been there the entire time. I promise
I
you,
know,
man.
but I'm just saying, it's like even in the early '80s, people were still like, it was better than the late '60s when started living in the projects for sure.
Mhm.
But I mean, I had people like, so I played Little League, right? And most of the Little League kids didn't live in the project. They lived in the suburbs around there, which really wasn't very nice, like little houses. But comparatively, for us, we felt like if you lived in a house, you were rich.
Right,
No matter what kind of house,
right,
you were
right,
rich. And if you lived in an apartment, a real apartment, not a project, but an apartment, you were way better than we were. That
right.
that was the mentality. And I remember going playing at people's after practice at people's houses, and this one mom goes, "So where do you live?" I go, "I live over in Mar Vista Gardens." Next thing I know, she comes back out and she yells at me and chases me off and tells her son he can't play with me. And then he told me, "You washed your hair for lice." I never had lights. My mom was from the deep south, man. You think that was going to happen in my
Oh,
house?
no, dude.
No, no,
Yeah,
not. Never
yeah.
had a cockroach. Never had a cockroach when I was living in the project. So, we all experienced that, and growing up back then, even in the '80s, even today, growing up without you know, a father and a mother, um, role models like that. Um, if at least you have a strong one, like you had your grandfather
Yeah,
and your
yeah,
mom.
yeah.
Um, so, I mean, God bless. I mean, look at you. You look great. You're doing great. And it's a testament that, like what you said, is kids figure that stuff out. They figure it out. You know, you're this, or you're that. Well, F you. You
Right.
fight a couple of times,
That's right.
and the guy you fight is probably going to be your best friend, right?
He turned out to be my boy, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. I got to fight in 8th grade with this guy who's still one of my friends to this day. He didn't like me because he thought I thought I was too cool, and I thought he was too cool. We got into a fight, and then um, we both got swatted. That's how old we are. We both
Okay. Yeah.
got
Oh, yeah.
swatted by the vice principal
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I
corporal
remember those
punishment.
days.
Yeah. Was that still happening when you were a kid?
Art, how old do you think? How much older do you think you are than me?
I'm 63. How old are
Okay,
you?
you're just a tiny bit, just a tiny. I'm 56, so
Dude,
we're in the same
I
vibe,
thought you were
bro.
like 45.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Yeah. What they say is true, man. You look good, brother.
What were you trying to say? Black don't crack. Oh, but that's
Yeah.
politically incorrect, Art. You can't say that.
I didn't say it. You did.
No, but you thought it, and I was reading you.
Nope. 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 I've heard it on the interwebs.
It hasn't been for
Wait a
you,
minute.
man.
You got me so upset. I've got to hit my Starbucks right here.
gotta.
Okay, I'm better now. I forgive
Okay.
you.
Right on, man. And speaking of better now, man, I really appreciate everything that you guys and the bros from Everclear have been doing over the last couple of decades, 3 decades or more, man. And it's great you guys are still out there killing it.
Come
Which I got to ask, man. A lot of bands haven't made it as long as you guys have in so many ways, and not only that, like you're into a lot of different stuff, not just the music, but the acting and the producing. One of the things that I noticed that I didn't know this about you somehow got by me. You were an AR you were like the AR dude for a record company. That puts you on the
No,
on the flip side of everything, Art. How is it coming in from that perspective? As an artist, but now you're the guy that's kind of, weeding through it and finding the gems in the rough. What's that process like?
I always loved it. I always loved doing that. Even when I was promoting punk shows back in the day, I always had a part of me that wanted to like be a musician. Never really a rock star. I wanted to live well and support myself playing music, but I did have dreams of world domination, of running a major record label someday, right? That was kind of my thing. And I had an indie label called Shindig out of San Francisco. Um, when I got signed to Capitol, other labels that I had met with were like, wow, because I had turned them on to tapes of bands I can't name legally, but bands that got signed and had hit records. And Capitol signed me because I went to my label president and said, hey, these other people want me to go. I don't want to make you look bad. Give me a chance to match their offer. He's like, that's cool. I'll give you double the money, better title. There you go. But he wouldn't let me sign anything.
What?
I brought
Why?
him, I brought him four bands that turned into platinum records. Four bands.
Wow.
And he wouldn't let me sign anything. They were platinum records for other people, not for him. So
So I mean, like, so where do you go from there? I mean, like that kind of at some point does it obviously it hasn't, but how do you keep yourself from becoming a little disillusioned in that or even jaded, in the record industry, if you will?
I write songs about it.
For
I write
sure.
songs about it.
For
Like a
sure.
song called Everything to Everyone that's on So Much for the Afterglow. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
it's about him and it's about people of that mentality where you're trying to be everything. You can't just be you and like, okay, you don't like me, that's cool. Move along. And we'll find people that were together and we can work together. Now, these people want everyone to like them and everyone to be with them. And the world just doesn't work like that, man. There's just too
Oh,
many different people out there. You got to find your people,
Alex,
both professionally and personally. You got to
art,
find your people.
art, you're killing it. I mean, right there, bro. I mean, like that's it right there. We've got to get. Well, you've got the platform. You got to get that message out there. Kids are looking up to you. Kids like me are looking up to you. Kids all of our age are we're still kids at heart is why I say that. Because I
Yeah,
think that's so important, man. Everyone thinks like everybody in the whole freaking world's supposed to be liking you. I'll never forget something my grandma told me a long time ago. It would take 4 decades, and then my boy artist saying it. Everyone ain't gotta like you. Stop making that the important thing. Like yourself, right? I
right.
love that you said that, bro.
Well, I don't know. Do you have kids?
I've got a son,
Okay, how old's your son, may I ask?
24.
Okay, so you've been through the teenage years.
Yeah.
Well, you've
And
got
I've
better
been with him
karma
since
than
the day he came in the world, by the way.
give me some on that.
Yeah, for sure. For
There,
sure.
that's how you do that.
That's what's up.
I have two teenage daughters. I had two daughters. One's 33, one's 17. So I'm going through it again. First one was relatively easy as a teenager, but in her 20s became something else. But my 17-year-old right now is like, she is so unique and she's so smart and she's so this and she's neurodivergent. She has this and she has all this. But when she pulls it together, dude, it is just breathtaking what she can do as a writer, as an artist, as a designer. It's amazing. And trying to inspire another person, especially a teenager, I don't know how you do it. The
Well,
only way you can really do it is by example. But it's like, you know,
I think
trying to trying to teach a child that I have given a really good life to how to have fire in her belly.
ooh, that can be tough. But I
I
think
don't know
it
how to.
I think the success of guys like yourself and myself when it comes to, the big picture of being successful dads, not to go down this road too far, but I think it's the fact that we didn't wait until they became teenagers to start thinking about what they were going to need when they became teenagers. I think
Day one.
too many parents wait till someone turns 14, 15, 16 and before they realize, oh wow, this independent mind now has to be molded. No, we got to start. We have to start molding that independent mind and inspiring that mind and motivating that mind and directing it in the direction we want it to go in the second they show up. Simple as that. I
Absolutely.
am pointing them into the direction of people outside ourselves that are going to be influencing them as well. We're just their dads, and that credibility only goes so far. So you introduce them to things out there in the world, like great music, like the great music that you guys are making, and
Yep.
and getting back to the music. you guys have been in the game almost 4 decades, right? How do you
About
how do you,
3.5. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you credit for four. You've seen
I'll take
this,
it.
you've seen the rock scene change many ways, many times over the decades. I love how you guys have been able to roll with the times and still stay true to yourself. Where do you see it? But so much has changed now, from the way we consume music to the way that we listen to it, the way that we purchase it or not. Where do you see it
Oh,
going
by
in the next 10 to 20 years? you know um how do we hang on? How do you guys hang on?
I have no idea what's going to happen in 20 years. I mean, if you asked me a year or two ago, I'd say there'll be technological stuff, there'll be this, there'll be that. Right now, with what's going on in this world, I have no idea
But we're
what's.
look Art, we're look you're the man. We're looking to you. I need an answer.
Well, hopefully not concentration camps.
Right,
That's
right.
that's the end result. But I don't know. I heard today that they're bringing National Guard into Washington, D.C. because the crime's so bad, even though the crime has been going down significantly for the last 8 years. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Use
All
your
you can
platform.
do, all you can do is, and this, I tell this to everyone around me, my kid, my wife, is all we can do is do what we do. We
Amen.
can create the life, we can nurture our children and our friends and our love. And uh, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person as far as organized religion because I just don't like the hypocrisy. But I do believe in a higher power. I
Amen.
wouldn't have it. My
Amen.
life wouldn't be where it was without him.
That's right.
And
Amen. Amen, brother.
so that's something that I feel is necessary to connect with other people and hopefully we can find leaders that can bring us to the place where we can just get all that other stuff out of the way and just concentrate on the fact that we're human beings. And I know this sounds, you've heard this before, it's rote, but it's a lot of times cliches are cliches because they're true. And you just got to strip it all away. But and it's hard to do. It's like this this morning I'm sitting out there. We're playing a fair tonight, upstate New York. I'm sitting at a table, and there's a guy there with a MAGA hat, and there's this other person, a hippie dude, and this and that. And you know what? The guy with the MAGA hat took his hat off, put it down, and we all just had a nice talk, had some coffee, and there wasn't that thing there. You know, we weren't the enemy. We were guys putting on a rock show, you know? And I we have my answer is we as a collective have to find a way to get back to that to, every day.
When you make the kind of songs that you've been making for the last 35 years, Art, that's how it's going to happen. Those songs that bring us all together from far walks of life. You and I have known each other 26 minutes, and yet I feel like I've known you maybe 26 years just because of all the stuff that we have in common, still as different as our lives are and
Sure.
as different as our experiences are. I've got a son, you
Which
got a
isn't
daughter.
a bad thing.
Well,
Different is not a bad thing.
it's
But
not. It's not.
but
But
everybody acts like it is
well,
now.
because people keep putting the differences in front of the things we have in common. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's like when you and I were kids and we're born and we're brought up in these neighborhoods that we would not have really chosen, but they ended up creating the characters that we are inside. And those are the things that we found out quickly, even going through those tough times with friends that we didn't think we were going to have to make, but we had to make anyway. It worked out. And Art, I'm
Right.
telling you, man, I think a lot of that has to do with what we have in common. We love the same kind of music, bro. You're making the kind of music I wish I would have made. I would have made I should have made Father of Mine. I should have made all those songs you guys did, but you did it, and I'm rocking out to it, man. And I get emotional every time I think about that song because, man, he's talking about my dad. He's talking about my neighborhood. He's talking about my brother and my sister and all right, dude, I really appreciate and love what you've done, brother.
Thank you.
So I can't wait to see you guys out here, man. I could go on and on and on, but I know you got stuff to do. So, man, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next month, September 6th, August Hall in the city. Welcome home. Art and the crew from Everclear, man. You guys go out there and kick booty tonight. And I want you to, before we close, Art, if you would, can you leave the fans, myself, with one great thought before we close out about how important it is that music continues to do what you guys have done so far and taking that into the future.
Well, I mean, you said it earlier in different words is artistic expression is something that is so incredibly human, right? We don't know that any other animal expresses itself artistically, either with voice or visual arts or what have you. There's so many different ways to be creative. And that is something that to me is connected to what a lot of people call God, what I call God.
I call
And
God.
that that's in all of us, that we're all the children of God
Amen.
and we are all God embodied. And if we can use that music and arts and everything and not banish it and not like, you know, not try to control it, not you know, not try to make it smaller than it is and just enjoy it. That's the only way we're going to connect. It really is through stuff like that. We're connecting through music. I connect with thousands of people through music every day. And I feel blessed to be able to do that, that God gave me that ability or decided to use me to do it because I'm not that smart, you know, and I'm sometimes just kind of amazed that my life has been the life it is, and I'm grateful for it. First thing I do when I wake up, man, I pray and meditate, and that's what keeps me sober every day.
Art, I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you, brother.
All
So
right.
good to talk to you, man. It was awesome.
Likewise,
Try
my
to
friend.
try to come out to San Francisco, man. I want to meet you in person.
Oh, dude,
If
we'll
you,
make it happen.
yeah,
I will be
talk
at the show. August.
talk to Barry,
Yep.
our publicist. So get you in.
Okay. I'll reach out, man, and put me on the list. Put me on the list. August
Yeah,
all September 6th in the city. Man, Everclear coming to rock the bay. Can't wait to see you, my man. Thank you so much for your
you
time,
too.
my brother.
Take care.
We'll talk to you soon.